So, time to head back to where we saw Miror B. You've probably been waiting for me to fight him again, because I've said it many times, but he is one of the most popular characters in this entire sub-series. In fact, he's actually pretty close. He's right here, so we didn't need to walk very far with all these lazy machines around here. Yeah, people who live here, well, I don't really know if people live here at all. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of this place is. I think it's like an entertainment facility for rich people, but anyway, anyone who goes here frequently does not get much exercise. But enough of that exercise. It's time to fight Miror B. I'll just say you do want to be prepared for rain, and ice works pretty well against him. And yeah, that was a really long time ago. So yeah, you know Miror B is being serious when he doesn't even use his normal music. He's just using the regular Cypher admin battle theme, which in some ways is kind of disappointing, and really unfitting of him, actually. But I guess it shows that he's finally getting serious. So, another thing that shows that he's finally getting serious, he no longer has an entire team of Ludicolo. He mixes in some other Pokemon too. He still likes to use Rain though, but he only has, he doesn't have as many Ludicolos, let's just say. Still got 5 Pokemon though. And yeah, like I said, Ice does work decently well against him, even though that is neutral against Ludicolo. Gust is super effective, but... oh, please tell me I didn't use... Pass me as an idiot! Ice Beam, 95 power. Gust, when super effective, 80 power. Neutral Ice Beam does more than super effective Gust. Speaking of Ice Beam... that didn't do very much at all. Please don't freeze, please don't freeze, please don't... thank you. But yeah, Pass Me was dumb here. Yeah, this is the exact kind of trap that a lot of players using Electivire in competitive fall into, because Electivire does learn a lot of moves and it has a lot of super effective coverage, but many of them just don't actually hit that hard when they're, even when they're super effective, because... I think back in Gen 3 as well, it's why a lot of people used to run Brick Break on Slacking, and then people basically said, I think, yeah, I realise my mistake now. People used to run Brick Break on Slacking, but you did that much even with Rain? Anyway, people used to run Brick Break on Slacking, and until other people pointed out that a super effective Brick Break is actually equal in power to a neutral return, and it just doesn't really hit all that much to justify being used. Also, I love how we got the team switch screen in the middle of Suicune's flinching animation. I'm gonna go with Luna here. Kind of a shame that I lost Kick's face so early into the fight. But yeah, finally I realized that Ice Beam was the better way to go. It's kind of more like Ice Comet in this game. I prefer how it looked in XD. Yeah, I'm really surprised that Ludicolo did that little damage to, and that wasn't even with a, damage-reduced Surf, that was with Waterfall. Yeah, back in this gen, Waterfall was special. It was the best option you had for a single targeting water move in doubles. That was the main reason to use Waterfall in Gen 3. It was completely inferior to Surf in single battles. I don't think it even had a chance to flinch in this generation either. Giga Drain. Giga Drain's always annoying on Ludicolo, but at least this isn't a Leech Seed, Rain Dish, Giga Drain Ludicolo. Oh, speaking of Brick Break. Kind of interesting how the wall shattering happens and then you get damage, but that didn't really do that much even though it's super effective. It's like what I was talking about earlier with Slacking using Brick Break. That was a nice crit, but let's see. No freeze. A freeze would have been kind of cool. What am I doing here? Probably should have gone for Ludicolo because it's a bigger threat to Suicune. And that Golduck is not really doing very much, and I know that Ludicolo has Swift Swim because, well, 1, it's outspeeding me all the time, and 2, it's obviously not healing, so it obviously doesn't have Rain Dish. Or Rash Dash, as I used to call it when I was a child. That hurt quite a bit. I probably should be doubling up on that Ludicolo. Doubling up is a lot safer in this game than it is in actual multiplayer double battles, because very few people carry Protect. Do I slowly try and rule them down? If I was past me, I'd probably double target that Ludicolo. For reasons that I've already said. Well, Luna's close to reaching level 42, though. Oh yeah, speaking of levels, the boss levels are still quite high. Though at this point, they're kind of equal to or worse than Iron, so... we'll see if Iron got any better or worse when we actually fight him. For now, though, we're more concerned with the Disco Lord himself. I think I was contemplating whether to switch or heal here. Turns out I think I am switching. Okay then. The net animation is kind of funny. I was about to say that Jump Bluff kind of benefits from Rain because it's having one of its weaknesses reduced in effectiveness, but even then... Wait a minute, that Golduck has Ice Beam, I just remembered that. Past me might have been dumb here. However, provided that I attacked the Golduck with Umbreon, that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, good, that's not an issue, unless any of his other Pokemon have Ice Beam. I mainly brought in Jump Bluff just to resist the Giga Drain and make sure the Ludicolo didn't heal that much, and Luna, you should be leveling up now. There we go. Mean look. Sadly not that useful in single-player battles unless you have Perish Song. Because the AI is often programmed to switch out of Perish Song. Loudred. At this point in the game, you really should be using Exploud. But anyway, I guess he blares his disco music over Loudred somehow. It kind of fits for him theme-wise, but... Yeah, But yeah, Miror B's rematch team is a little bit all over the place. I think I should just finish that thing off. Okay, I'm pretty sure the rain has stopped, because if not, I just outsped a Swift Swim Pokemon with just a neutral speed. And of course, Ludicolo still dance even while they're asleep. So you're even using Takedown, not anything stronger. Still did a fair amount of damage, but still, I'd expect a lot more than just Loudred. I really wish I had Kick Face here, but I do not. Let's see. I'm double targeting the one that I probably shouldn't be double targeting, but anyway. Because I don't really see that this Loudred is that much of a threat. Though this healing should put me above KO range of Takedown. This is not going to KO. Yeah, I've got both my defensive Pokemon out that both have horrible attacking stats, so... Not really going to be doing very much damage here, but I'm not really going to be taking that much in return. Well, I'm going to be taking a bit on Jump Bluff, but Jump Bluff is bulkier than it seems. It does have relatively okay defenses, just not that good HP. Okay, that I believe is Loudred down. So I recovered 12, so I would have done about 24. Loudred's fanning animation is pretty funny as well. So, what do you got next for us, Miror B? Let's see. Another Ludicolo! Yeah, I had a feeling he still had at least 2 Ludicolos, but at least he doesn't have a full team of them. Now this one is probably an annoying Rain Dish one, considering that his other one seems to be a Swift Swim Sweeper, which is alliteration, but anyway. Oh, you also have Ice Beam! Yeah, Jump Bluff is gone. So expect to see better movesets on these trainers at this point. Well, not on anything apart from that Loudred. Oh, okay, we've got 2 Ludicolos there. I'm just gonna go for the classic combo of Sol and Luna here. I mean, Dan Green would have been a bit of a risk, but I would have been able to Fire Blast them, which is neutral and probably would have done quite a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna preemptively... Okay, should I taunt that Ludicolo? Let me see. I probably should taunt it, because, yeah, past me probably expected that this Ludicolo would try and use things like Leaf Seed and stuff, although I feel like it might outspeed Umbreon, so... Actually, if I was past me, I probably would reverse that, use Feint Attack against the weaker one, and used Seismic against the stronger one, but I guess I just wanted to make sure the weaker one went down. So, that Ludicolo's groove has been defeated. Now, the other one is left. Also, Miror B's final Pokemon here, Armaldo. He doesn't always have this. This is his replacement for Sudowoodo. So, if you snag Sudowoodo earlier, he will have Armaldo now. But if you didn't, he will still have Sudowoodo here, and you'll be able to catch it. It will still be at the same level that it was before, though, so it's unlikely to be useful at this point in the game. Okay, moment of truth. Does this Ludicolo have Rain Dish? We'll find out. Yes, it does. I thought so. So he has 1 Rain Dish, 1 Swift Swim Bomb. That makes sense. There are some Pokemon that are versatile enough that you can have multiple of them on the same team, well, in any environment that doesn't have Species Clause, and still have a bit of variety. I still always think that Lucario is a Pokemon that you could easily make a full team of 6 Lucarios, and all of them could have a very different role. I'd kind of like to do that in a fun match sometime. That and Gengar. You could do that with Gengar too. Anyway, gonna go ahead and confuse this thing. I keep mistaking Armaldo for a water type, and that's probably because, well, one, it learns a lot of water too. Of course, you would be the Leech Seed Staller. Yeah, I had a feeling. It learns a lot of water type moves, like Water Gun and stuff as an Anarif, but also it looks very similar to Golisopod, which actually is Bug Water, but no, Armaldo is Bug Rock or Rock Bug. Sometimes it's hard to remember the exact order that certain Pokemon's types are in. I know that in Gen 1 there are a few Pokemon, I think Rhydon and Rhydon were Ground Rock rather than Rock Ground, or I'm not sure, but there are some Pokemon that have the same type combinations as others, just in a different order. It's weird like that. I probably should be taking that Armaldo. Now, if this was a later generation, I definitely wouldn't have Soul here, because that Armaldo would definitely X-scissor me, but let's see what the Armaldo can do. Oh, I've spread Confusion around. I remember Confusion being helpful in my first fight with Miror B too, so I guess things have come full circle. If I remember correctly, Armaldo has decent defense on top of decent attack, so confusing it might not really do a lot. And of course, we have to be recovering with that and Rain Dish, although you're not really healing that much damage. I'll slowly whittle you down. I'm using that phrase a lot this playthrough, but that's kind of what you get for using Pokemon like Umbreon and I guess sometimes also Jumpluff. Almost down. Now you're down. Yeah, finally I'm taking my own advice, well, my future self's advice, and doubling up on the Ludicolo. So, second groove destroyed. Now it's just the, groovy rock bug thing. Forget exactly what Armaldo is based on, but I think it's a similar thing to Golisopod. It's like a Lizapod or something, I don't know. Yeah, you're not going to last long with the combined might of Sol and Luna bearing down on you. Kind of cool how the first Cypher admin is being beaten by the team up for that first Pokemon. I didn't even need to use Luna there. So that fight wasn't terrible. It could have gone a little better, but it could have gone much worse. Not Psych Up, no. Espeon probably won't survive long enough to copy a significant number of boosts. I guess it's a niche option maybe in multiplayer battles, so amazing animation there. A niche option in multiplayer battles for, like, winning Calm Mind Wars. So yes, we've beaten him thoroughly twice. And he's nice and gives us the Red ID badge. Maybe. And that is sadly the last we'll ever be seeing of him during the main storyline. Of course, he was popular enough to appear as an actual character in the sequel, which is more than can be said of the rest of the Cypher admins. I'm going to go back to heal now. I'll see you back at Dakim. So, time to go over here. We actually didn't go through this path last time, but it should be obvious who's waiting for us at the end of this one. Still weird that Dakim... Oh, actually, wait. We have more to go through. It's kind of weird how Miror B was there right from the start, but Dakim requires you to go through 2 rooms to reach him. Well, I mean, I guess he required us to go through 10 rooms, well, 10 platforms on Mount Battle, so yes, this is an improvement. But here he is, Dakim. I'd say it's the other way around. So, let's beat Dakim for the second time. So, like Miror B, he's kind of similar to his first encounter, but also kind of different. He's got some very different Pokemon, though. Claydol and Forretress right off the bat, which, well, I would say that this makes Entei effective against him, but not really, considering that Claydol is likely to use Earthquake. Suicune, however, is going to be great. He is still fairly weak to Water types, but just a bit less weak to Water types than he was at the start of the... well, in his first encounter. So, he still uses the Protect Earthquake combo, but he also mixes up a little bit and uses some Pokemon with Levitate. And sadly, I'm not going to be doing the Operation Red Horse this time. Just because, like I said, fewer of his Pokemon are weak to water, but some of them still are, so I'm still going to go for Rain Dance here. And yeah, that was easy to see coming. I like how Claydol's arms detach from his body whenever it quakes like that, and I'm glad I used Reflect, because that would have done way more. Also, that shows the obvious difference in defenses between Espeon and Suicune. So, Claydol doesn't need to protect. It has the Levitate ability, so Doesn't look like anyone's protecting that turn. Again, I forget if Helping Hand has the same priority as Protect or not. I'm guessing Protect is slightly higher, but I forget. They keep changing up the priority of Protect as more and more priority moves are introduced. But anyway, nobody seemed to protect that turn, so we're going to have a Helping Handed, I guess we are kind of doing Operation Red Horse. Wow, that did a lot to Fortress. So Dakim has a second gimmick built into this rematch fight too. He also likes to use Sunny Day's Solar Beam. Now, really though, the main thing that Sunny... that's going to ignore my Reflect as well, so I'm so sorry, Sol. That wasn't really your fault. It was an unlucky crit there. But he mainly does this, I think, to get rid of Rain, because I think the game realized just how weak he was to Rain. However, I can capitalize on this by sending out Dakim. Just got to be a little careful of Earthquakes. Alright, Fortress is probably going to protect this turn. You know the drill by now. This guy's pretty predictable in what he does. Should I try and set Rain back? Nah. Actually, no, he's not that predictable. I didn't expect him to use a Hyper Potion. Suddenly, he's become a gym leader from later generations. I was fully expecting Fortress to protect here, but it opened itself up to Overkill from Fire Blast. So I'll be seeing in a moment just which of his Pokemon is going to be coming right into a Surf, and it's Flygon, another Pokemon with Levitate. So again, Dakim switches things up in his rematch, so he doesn't need to use Protect all the time. Now he's got two Levitators out on the field, so either of them, or both even, could use Earthquake. Wow, okay. Well, I mean, this is weakened by Sunny Day, but yeah. I probably need to get rid of that Sun. His Flygon, I believe, does have Solar Beam, so I want to finish that thing off quickly, although it's probably faster than Suicune. Let's see. No, it's just going for Earthquake. And yeah, here's part of the reason why I taught Dakim Protect, because otherwise this would be devastating to him. But speaking of devastating to you, I'm just going to preemptively say goodbye Flygon. This is the reason why I taught Ice Beam. Flygon is not the only Pokemon that's severely weak to this that will be fighting in the final battles of the game, so definitely useful that I taught this. Ice Beam also works pretty well against Claydol. It's not weakened by Sun either. Whiscash! Oh no, Whiscash, whatever you do, don't use Earthquake, then this episode will get banned! I mean, actually, that's probably not something I should be joking about. I mean, there was an actual earthquake in Japan that caused that episode to be, but I still find that episode fascinating. It's called Shaking Island Battle Barboach vs. Whiscash for being one of the only episodes of Pokemon to never be aired anywhere in the world. I believe it was actually fully finished, but it was never released because there just happened to be an earthquake the day that it was supposed to air. And not only that, but ever since that episode, I believe they've never used the move Earthquake in the anime since then. So, it's kind of suffered the fate of Porygon. But yeah, I mean, I understand the episode not getting aired because of that in Japan. I mean, that makes sense. Really, it's not something to joke about, but I still find that interesting. Like apparently, there should be footage of that episode around. They're just likely never going to be releasing it. It's not like all those episodes that were banned only in the English version or released in Japan. This one was actually banned, well, I mean, never even got a chance to be released anywhere in the world. But anyway, enough about that. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this Whiscash. Unfortunately, it survived. That's unexpected. Maybe if Jump Off was one level higher, that could have finished it, but anyway. Yeah, like I said, Ice Beam does quite a number on Claydol. And yeah, your Claydol has Solar Beam, although I forget exactly how good Claydol's special attack is. I want to say not that good. Still did a pretty decent amount of damage, though. Oh, of course you would have Ice Beam. It's like all the water types here have Ice Beam. Please, oh, you couldn't take it. Well, its foe survived a 4-time super effective move, but Jumpluff itself couldn't. Who do I send in here? I love the humiliation factor of using this guy's own Shadow Pokemon against him, but it is very risky thanks to all the Earthquakes running around. Speaking of which, I'm expecting possibly even a double Earthquake here. I mean, Claydol isn't resistant to Fire Blast, but let's see. I probably should... Should I stop the Whiscash and Ice Beam the Claydol? I don't know if the Claydol will survive my Ice Beam. Probably will, actually. Is Sun still up? If Sun is still up, me using Surf there was a terrible idea. But if it's not, it's actually a decent idea. Doesn't seem like sun's up. Okay, Claydol is down, that's good, and Whiscash is hopefully down as well. Unlike the other water ground type, you don't have water absorb, so you suffer damage from Surf. Goodbye, Whiscash. So I believe Dakim's now down to his final Pokemon. And hey, fittingly, Dan Green levels up fighting against his former, yes, inevitably abusive master. And Houndoom. Now, Dan Green is going up against his own replacement, because, yeah, this is the Pokemon that Dakim has to replace Entei if you snagged it. Like I said with Miror B, if you didn't snag Entei before, he'll still have Entei here, and it'll be the same level that it was originally, so it'll be kind of an anticlimax, but if you did snag, and, hey, Houndoom still has the same ground slide that its pre-evolution does. But, yeah. You didn't even get to do anything. Nice job. That Houndoom is actually pretty powerful, especially if Sun is up. It, I believe, has Solar Beam, and its fire moves will hit pretty hard in the sun. So yeah, Dakim has lost to a Punk once again. That fight also wasn't terrible, apart from Sol getting crit earlier on. Another person is mentioning Nazcor. They're really building him up. Yeah, this guy's not quite as nice about the item that he's giving us. And he is gone. So we got the... I still don't know why they made Dakim have the green ID badge. I really feel like Miror B should have been green. I mean, I know that his afro is red and white, but he uses Pokemon that are green. Dakim uses a lot of Pokemon that are red. He would have fit the red badge a lot better, but I don't know. It's... Maybe it's a mix-up just like how Gen 1 very, very obviously must have messed up the names of the Marsh badge and Soul badge. Very obviously Sabrina was supposed to be Soul and Koga was supposed to be Marsh, but... And they had no excuse for that, because in the Japanese version, the badges were all just named after colours. They were just Gold badge and Pink badge. So that was purely a localization goof. Anyway, though, we're gonna save. Next time, more rematches. See you then.